All right, welcome back to our ongoing explainer series. Today we're actually shifting our lens inward. In our previous explainer, we looked at things on a massive macrocosmic scale, really mapping out the sun as this great cosmic feeder of our entire physical world. But today we're exploring the sun not just as a cosmic provider, but as the supreme physician of the soul. We are literally going to witness the microcosmic purification of the human spirit, and we're doing it through an absolutely transformative case study.
Welcome to Gyan Kosh, a digital repository of Sanatani spiritual wisdom. We are now in the midst of a series on Sun, the Pratyaksha form of God, and our endeavor is to cover brief insights into the various aspects of the story of the Sun.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this is exactly where the psychological stakes of our story become incredibly profound. We are looking at the narrative of Prince Samba, the son of Sri Krishna, and the big central question driving his truly tragic fall and his eventual brilliant redemption is this: what actually happens when physical perfection, something we almost always see as a huge blessing, mutates into a spiritual terminal illness?
To really grasp this, we need to completely immerse ourselves in the setting of this epic narrative. I want you to picture the crystal white spires of ancient Dwarka, just standing majestic and shimmering at the golden hour. Imagine the warm light reflecting magnificently off the Arabian Sea, literally turning the entire city into this breathtaking, photorealistic jewel of marble and gold. It was right here, at the absolute peak of Dwarka's glory, that Prince Samba lived. He inherited the divine grace of his father Krishna, along with the formidable strength of the Yadavas. He was the absolute pinnacle of human physical perfection.
But here's the twist. Samba's physical perfection actually became his ultimate downfall, because it birthed a severe case of ahankara, or ego. This terminal illness, ahankara, is what happens when a person identifies completely and solely with their ephemeral physical shell. Samba was a prince whose physical beauty was literally whispered about across the three worlds. But tragically, this legendary beauty completely blinded him. It acted like this dense, impenetrable veil, completely obscuring his true inner spirit, his Atma Jyoti, the light of the soul.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it sets up a profound battleground within Samba himself. On one side, you have the ephemeral shell, his physical form. Samba literally worshipped his own reflection. When he looked in the mirror, or even into the eyes of others, he only saw his own magnificent silhouette looking back. He was completely ignoring the other side of this equation, the eternal Atman, that indestructible solar light within us that remains completely eternal long after the physical vessel is broken.
As our sources beautifully state, his identity was anchored in his form, birthing a legendary arrogance. I really want you to let that sink in for a second. His immense, unmatched beauty was not a gift anymore. It had become a profound, dangerous psychological trap. His ego had entirely eclipsed that internal sun, plunging his spirit into a deep, dark shadow. And in the Sanatani worldview, when a spiritual illness reaches this kind of terminal stage, a dramatic and necessary divine intervention is absolutely inevitable.
Enter sage Narada, the Devarishi. Now, it is so vital to understand that Narada is the cosmic catalyst of divine play, or Leela. When he looked at Samba, he didn't act out of malice or spite. No, quite the opposite, actually. Narada acted with what we can really only call surgical compassion. He recognized that Samba's unchecked ego was a terminal illness of the soul, and just like a master surgeon facing a severe, life-threatening disease, Narada knew that treating it would require a radical, devastating intervention to force the prince to finally turn his gaze inward.
And so, the divine trap is set. Picture the dark, deeply evocative photorealistic shadows of the royal gardens in Dwarka. Narada, with his Veena just glowing faintly in the moonlight, carefully orchestrates the sequence of events, an incredibly complex illusion that places Prince Samba in a highly compromising position near the royal harem. It's a trap perfectly timed for the exact precise moment Krishna arrives. Krishna, seeing this through the web of illusion, completely misinterprets the scene, and in a moment of righteous explosive fury, the devastating curse is cast.
The curse that Krishna unleashed upon his own son was Kushta-roga, or leprosy. In an absolute, terrifying instant, the physical beauty Samba had worshipped so deeply was just dissolved. His youthful glow was instantly replaced by the ashen, gray texture of severe decay. But listen, it is absolutely crucial to understand that this was not just mere punishment. It was a radical, entirely necessary shattering of the physical beauty that had completely consumed Samba's ego. It was the physical manifestation of his internal spiritual decay. The false self literally had to be destroyed so the true self could finally emerge.
Completely stripped of his royal identity and his legendary form, Samba retreated to Mitravana, the forest of the Friend, situated right on the banks of the Chandarbhaga River. And here began a grueling 12-year crucible of tapas, or austerity. Just try to imagine the grueling passage of time here. Picture Samba's frail, decaying body standing waist-deep in the river, enduring the blistering, unrelenting summer heat, and then sitting completely motionless through the freezing, biting winter frost. Year after year, the physical elements relentlessly battered his broken form, slowly but surely burning away the deep impurities of his mind.
Through this agonizing passage of time, an absolutely incredible shift happened within Samba. This is what we call the fire of purification. Over those 12 years of intense tapas, Samba actually stopped seeking a mere physical cure for his skin. The disease had done its job. The ego was broken. Instead, his discipline completely evolved. He surrendered his royal lineage entirely and sought a deep alchemical union with the sun, worshipped here not just as some distant star in the sky, but as Surya Narayana, the ultimate witness and the ultimate healer.
So the crucial point is beautifully summed up like this: dissolving the shadow of I into the light of that. This perfectly captures the exact profound moment of Samba's ego death. The haughty, arrogant prince was gone. Through absolute total surrender, he realized that when the physical form is entirely stripped away, only the pure solar principle remains. He wasn't Samba, the beautiful prince, anymore. He was simply a vessel desperately seeking the light.
And at the absolute zenith of his devotion, the universe responded. I want you to imagine the epic, photorealistic sky above the river just suddenly tearing wide open. A blinding, incredible radiance pours through as Surya Narayana manifests right there in his multi-armed, brilliant Virat, or universal form, riding atop a magnificent 7-horse chariot. This is the breathtaking moment where divine grace actively steps in to overwrite the absolute laws of biological decay.
From this magnificent Virat form showers down the Sudarasam, the heavenly nectar of solar light. Imagine a breathtaking downpour of radiant golden particles completely saturating Samba's frail, diseased cells. In Sanatani metaphysics, you see, this solar light isn't just illumination, it is the primal medicine. It bathes Samba in this alchemical fire that systematically overwrote his biological decay, restoring him from the very atomic level upward. It's just mind-blowing to think about.
When Samba finally opened his eyes, he experienced a miraculous rebirth. His devastating leprosy was entirely gone, for sure, but he hadn't just returned to his former self. No, he had been granted a divya deha, a divine body. His new, completely flawless skin now radiated a subtle, profound inner luminescence. The physical form was no longer a dense shell. It had become a perfect, transparent conductor for the spiritual light that he had just spent 12 grueling years contemplating.
And this brilliantly illustrates how absolute the transformation was. Before the curse, Samba's body was a cage for his ego. It trapped his spirit in this endless loop of vanity and arrogance. But after the crucible, after the divine healing, his body literally became a temple for the light. The haughty, arrogant prince was dead, and in his place stood a luminous, awakened sage.
Now, you might be wondering, how does a soul express gratitude for such a profound cosmic intervention? Well, in the Sanatani tradition, gratitude isn't just a fleeting feeling or a quick thank you. It is actively shown by institutionalizing wisdom. Samba knew he had to turn his personal miracle into a sanctuary for all of humanity, ensuring that the science of light that healed him would never, ever be lost to the ravages of time.
To honor his healing, Samba basically became the architect of light. First, he established the very first great sun temple at the exact site of his penance in Mitravana, which is located in modern-day Multan. Second, he invited the Magha Brahmins. These were expert solar priests from Sakadwipa, or ancient Persia, bringing them right to the soil of Bharat. And third, by bringing these amazing experts together, he successfully preserved the sacred science of planetary alignments and solar healing for all future generations. Let's move to and see how this builds into something even greater. Mitravana was really just the progenitor. Samba's initial act of gratitude laid the architectural and spiritual foundation for India's breathtaking lineage of solar temples. His vision paved the way for the majestic, awe-inspiring stone monuments we still marvel at today. From the incredible ruins of Martan in Kashmir
to Madurai in Gujarat, and ultimately to the breathtaking scale of Konark in Odisha.
Ultimately, the story of Samba serves as a profound psychological allegory. It is the ultimate template for the human journey. It maps our fall into the dark density of the ego, the necessary and, let's be honest, often painful fire of repentance, and our eventual radiant restoration through the solar principle. It reminds us of a fundamental spiritual truth: no shadow is too deep for the sun to pierce. The eternal physician is always there, awaiting only our true surrender to begin the work of healing. This incredible journey of light naturally leads us right into our next explainer. We are going to be stepping into the mathematical heart of the sun to explore the geometry of the Konark wheel. We'll examine the massive, intricately carved stone wheels of the Konark Sun Temple and uncover exactly how those ancient architects managed to make time and stone become one functioning cosmic clock. It's absolutely fascinating, and you seriously won't want to miss how this science of light evolved.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you can get immediate notifications about our new video postings. Our endeavor is to bring to you the timeless treasure of Sanatani spiritual wisdom in simple language, and also please note that we are now posting videos in 10 Indian languages and with multiple playlists covering a variety of religious content. Let us together keep the light of Sanatani burning bright forever. Please visit our channel and check out our full playlists.